All right, guys, welcome back. So we've got one more series for you today, and that's going to be the Flying Penguins, the EE squad, versus J.Strom. And I think this is going to be really, really hype. I think a lot of people were very surprised that the Eternal Envy squad is made it as far as they have here in the upper brackets. So what do you think we're going to see?
I think we're going to see some good Dota.
That is a given, yes. I'll be very disappointed if we don't.
Yeah.
We got the brackets up here right now, so you can see that EG has already qualified, which is pretty exciting. The winner of this will qualify to the major as well, while the loser will get knocked down into the lower bracket and eventually have to duke their way for that third and final spot for NA.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be extra intense, right? Because today, you know, we're going to find out two teams ultimately. We already have EG, as mentioned, the winner of this, but tomorrow we got 4 teams remaining, and only one more spot will be on the line, so that's going to be some great, great stuff there. But we got a hype match in front of us here, J.Strom versus Flying Penguins. Again, Flying Penguins, they're kind of this, I don't want to say Cinderella story by any means. I mean, again, these are
Cinderella.
successful players here across the board and have good history, but a lot of people, specifically that EG result, again, we keep going back to that one. And like I said before the break there, they're going up against a J.Strom team, very competent team, of course, but a little bit of a, you know, with the roster change, maybe not as high expectations, at least from me personally. I would not be surprised to see Flying Penguins moving on here, but ultimately I do expect a good series and possibly even 3 games.
All right, what do you think, Hips?
When we casted J.Strom before, I really enjoyed their drafts, actually. Like the fact that they had a couple of creative solutions to problems, the fact that they put fear just on this Ogre Magi and say, all right, you go ahead, build your Midas, multicast, buy those hexes in the end. I really enjoyed that they're making, you know, space to do stuff like that. I thought the the Necrolite pick worked out very well for them on the top lane versus the Death
Necrolite.
Yeah.
Necrophos.
That guy, the green one.
The green one.
You know, the beard.
Yes,
Old
got
school.
It. Got it. Yeah, I know. Back when there was a Wind Runner and not a Wind Ranger. And Skeleton King, R.I.P.
Are we allowed to say those?
Sometimes,
I don't know.
Sometimes things are still in your heart.
It is, even if it's a big monk ass. But no, I mean, we were really surprised. We saw a couple interesting picks coming out from the side of J.Strom. We were a little bit skeptical, right? We saw the Warlock
think rightfully
come
so.
out. At one point, we saw the Ogre Magi came out too.
Yeah,
twice.
And it worked. Like, Fear was a big old beefy boy, you know? He found enough farm where he was able to, again, like you mentioned, get that Midas, and eventually he got himself a sheep stick, and then the sheepening happened. Everyone was a sheep when he got those multicasts, so.
Well, as we mentioned, too, again, a team like Team Secret, of course, arguably one of the best teams in the world right now, they are doing some unique stuff compared to the masses. And when a team like that's doing unique stuff compared to the masses, usually it should be everyone else trying to copy a team like that, right? Where it almost seems opposite, where they're just doing whatever, you know, having fun. Everyone else is kind of trying to figure out, you know, the same thing. So I go back to J.Strom specifically and... Or, excuse me, J.Strom in that sense, where they have been willing to try some unique things, as we've already listed off there. And it's, I think that's going to put you at an advantage right now, rather than trying to emulate what others are doing.
You say that, and then we see the Omni Knight picks that have been coming out that have not been very successful.
It's not always going to work, obviously, but yeah, it's probably stay away from Omni Knight this series.
And Weaver, that's the one that
don't delete Weaver from the game in your mind.
Grinds his gears over there.
Don't pick that hero right now, please.
But yeah, lots of interesting things coming out. Either you go with that comfortable, safe pick, or you go and you try something a little different. And that's something that J.Strom, again, has been pretty okay with doing, along with like Secret and whatnot.
Where's the Enchantress?
I don't know. We saw her one game, I think. One game. I don't even remember.
OG completely steamrolling over.
Right.
Was it Kaban?
Kaban.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They drafted this attack speed aura lineup and just completely bulldozed their way.
I think we were a little bit skeptical about that too. I remember you were especially skeptical because it was three melee, and then it was just the Drow and the Enchantress. And you're saying, you know, how are they going to take advantage of it? Well, they found a way to take advantage of it.
No
tail, just
they did.
Pew pew pew. It was just a chain gun Enchantress.
Yeah, that was the Thompson Drow Ranger. That's right. Yeah, with the blink first.
With the blink.
Yeah, that was just adapting to the meta. That was that game specifically. Doing a great job of that. I do remember that, but. Yeah, teams that make adjustments, both in drafts as well as in the game themselves when it comes to item things like that, are usually going to put themselves in a better spot to win. So
absolutely, the more adaptable you are, the more likely that you're going to be able to find solutions when you're back up against the wall, or if you're just wanting to be creative and trying to catch people off guard. Because we talked again earlier about how we've got all these regions, right? These regions where it almost, in some ways, is a little bit easier on the international stage because you're not scrimming the international teams all the time. Some of them are, obviously, so the better teams do. But a lot of the times, you're scrimming people at home. You're trying new things out with these people, so they know you pretty well. Especially, your friends too, right? You know everybody in your region if you're a top-tier player because you're always queuing up against them. And you're like, oh God, it's this guy again in my pubs. Or you're pairing up together, just trying things out, and it can make it a little bit more difficult to catch each other off guard. So sometimes, trying new things out that you might have been kind of keeping close to your chest really pays out in spades for you.
And J.Strom have shown that they are really good at catching people off guard, whereas, of course, on the other side, we have Eternal Envy, who is the king of unexpected plays.
Yeah, for good and for bad at times, but it's been for great lately, that's for sure.
I really enjoy it. I think that that quote that people throw around a lot, when the game goes bad, I try to make it so that nobody understands Dota anymore. That's great. You're leveling the playing field, literally.
Yeah.
Like, if your opponent is in charge and they still know what to do, you are on the back foot. But as soon as nobody understands what in the blazes is happening anymore, you have a chance to come back. And it's very real. Like, people think he's joking. He's not.
Oh, absolutely.
He's not joking about that stuff.
I see great logic in that, actually. So perhaps we'll see some of that here. Terrorblade, one of the initial bands I found interesting there. Again, just to hear all that Eternal Envy is not only just very comfortable with, but seen plenty of it. However, today, and again, crossing the fingers, keeps like that. Obviously, in this case, not going to, but Phantom Assassin as well. Yeah, the Phoenix first pick, and then the Coddle. Keeper of the Light.
Well, that's an interesting first pick here.
Quick response.
They did run that, though, earlier.
Were they the ones that ran that yesterday?
I believe I saw them run that, yeah.
Okay.
The Will-O-Wisp being very effective.
Seems like a flea hero, definitely.
Very different first picks coming out here than in the other series, where we had Lich being a highly contested pick, with the Earth Spirit, of course, for a crit coming out, and then the Tiny, who we all agreed was, like, we thought it was going to be first pick material.
There's one of them.
There's the Earth Spirit.
Okay. Seen quite a bit of Earth Spirit, actually, in the last couple of games. Series, rather.
One of those plus 4s that you can run both as a roamer as well as that he does really well in the tri lane. He's not confined to one or two of those positions. And of course, he's got the full kit. He's got the stun, the slow, the silence, and a big team fight ult. So he's got the whole package.
He really does. It's cast so many games, I never really thought about it that way.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
It's one of the biggest problems with Earth Spirit, like balancing him, is because as long as he still had damage on anything, it was overpowered, just because his kit does so much already.
Yeah.
And Lifestealer coming out next for J.Strom.
Is that a bit of an early pickup of the Lifestealer? Like, is that something you want to be careful? Because he is very susceptible to being kited.
Yeah, but yes and no. I feel like with where Lifestealer is at right now, teams are just clearly just confident that they're going to be able to make it work. He's just that much better than other cores, is what his second pick is saying. Yeah,
I guess the TB is taken out. That's something that we've seen that struggles a little bit. Rather, Lifestealer struggles against is having the TB up with the Metamorphosis, obviously, with the kiting and the amounts of damage that he can put out. The Deuce is also taken out. Again, another hero that's great for kiting.
Yep.
Great hero against Coddle, too, that Rage. He won't have to worry about Will-O-Wisp.
Not at all.
In fights. And even in the laning phase, when it comes to Illuminate spam, we saw that one matchup against the Terrorblade. Just completely took him out of that lane. That's not going to be the same for Lifestealer. He has that Rage activation to be able to react to it.
Yeah, there's no Jug or the CK, or like all the big cores are actually being taken out pretty early here, right? CK, of course, could be run as a position 4, but have been seeing him sometimes in that position 1. Jug, of course, one of the top picks, actually. I think he's like 3rd or something. EE, obviously, you never let him have the Phantom Assassin and the Terrorblade, Deusa, Morphling. Like, they're really cutting off a lot of these possibilities here for the side of Flying Penguins.
Yeah, so they're already a lot less scared about getting guided. As well as, you know, the Lifestealer, one of the things is that he ramps up very fast. He's going to build that Midas. Perhaps he's even going to go into the Radiance like Arteezy did in the previous game that we saw. And in the lane where he's extremely dominant, extremely easy to last hit with, extremely hard to remove from the lane, he is going to get that farm up. So, and this Night Stalker ban over here, this is a hero that we haven't seen even mentioned once before. People have been saying this guy is still a melee creep outside of the nighttime, but he does have a free axe during the nighttime now.
Yeah.
This is script information. You know that, all right, they ban it. It means J.Strom has been running it. Fits them perfectly, actually, if you look at the weird picks that they've been running, right?
Well, it's again sort of a solution to the Keeper of the Light too, right? Because of the darkness and everything like that. So could be the other reason.
Sure, I mean that's pretty old school matchup there.
I would have loved to see a Night Stalker, though.
Well, I was gonna see. I was trying to think. I don't remember what game specifically, but there's one earlier today. I'm pretty sure it made an appearance.
I saw, yeah, no.
In one of the European matches.
One of the earlier matches,
So
there was a Night
I don't
Stalker.
know if
I
that
need to
was
go
bad.
check that out then.
Yeah. I forget. I didn't watch the game specifically, so yeah, I'm not sure the impact it had or anything.
Well,
but
Oh, there's your fishy friend that we were talking about, Kips. You were asking, what happened to
Yeah.
Slardar? Where did
What
Slardar go?
did happen to
Well, there he
Slardar?
is. He is on the side of flying penguins.
I was just having a little bit of a vacay, I suppose.
Slardar.
Also a good deny pick.
There
Because
he
that
is.
Slardar Lifestealer combination is ridiculously powerful.
I believe that's going to be a Lelis Slardar picked up. And an Ogre Magi. Again, another Ogre
Look
picked up
at that.
I like seeing Slaughter more of the core role, personally, when I was going to be on that side. And as you mentioned, probably a Lelis, so probably an offlane Slaughter.
The Tiny has been completely ignored.
Yeah,
Which
I mean,
is,
some
is
teams
crazy
just,
after last game, seeing how hotly contested it was.
10 seconds remaining.
It is. It is. Now, you have Earth Spirit on one team, so again, that's fine if you're not going to pick up Tiny, and Earth Spirit's great. I guess the other side is the argument is like, is Phoenix really a stronger hero than Tiny? I mean, Phoenix has his own, what he brings to the table, of course, the egg and the distraction. Predictions, we're going with J.Strom.
I know
So,
which side, which prediction
1-0
break he's
J.Strom.
going now.
Well,
Literally made a plea earlier to teams not to pick Weaver, but there it is.
Might as well be like that, because it's going to be like that the whole game. No.
10 seconds remaining.
that is one hero
So-
that you can't really take down with a
5
Lifestealer,
seconds
though. He is like
True.
Weaver is kite central.
Yeah.
There didn't have much left in the pool either for it being able to kite as a position
yeah.
one.
But Doom is still there.
Doom is still there.
No, but okay, you're right. Yes, when it comes to, again, this is what I've seen in the Alliance match earlier, in the one match that we casted that we brought it up, but it's like on paper it makes sense. He's the king of kite, as you put it. The hero just doesn't feel like it's powerful enough right now. He doesn't match up to these other cores that we are seeing plenty of, the Terrorblades, the Lifestealer, Juggernauts, whatever.
Well, they're not in this game now, so.
They're not, again, obviously they were getting down the list as far as potential heroes, but
Right.
this is one answer already. Puck is fantastic against Weaver between the Dream Coil and the Waning Rift. We also saw that level 20 talent of Puck, that Waning Rift that makes it a 5-second cooldown, is something else that now Weaver's going to have to worry about. Yeah, it's going to be an issue.
10 seconds remaining.
Just simply keeps going back to that. And if they don't ban Doom here, I 100% expect
5
J.Strom to pick up
seconds
Doom
remaining.
at
It
this
would-
point. But
Round out their lineup pretty nicely. They have this the Ogre Magi with the Phoenix. Like they have a strong tri lane if they want to. They could be running that Doom solo lane as well. And of course against the Weaver, it's just so great. It would leave them in a little bit of a pickle because they are first pick, and you'd ideally want something that you could swap into the mid lane
Yeah.
if you'd like to. And they don't really have that right
Red
now.
Team ban.
And yeah, Flying Penguins go instead with the ban on something that is a lot more, well, of that flexible sort of type where you could indeed swap the lanes up still, so Timbersaw ban.
Weaver does plenty of physical damage. I will say that. Weaver does plenty, and you have a Slaughter Corrosive Haze. So again, going back to trying to sell it a little bit more, it is picked up by Flying Penguins here and spot on the majors on the line. So to still give them some hope, that is no doubt
5
a
seconds
thing that
remaining.
Weaver will feed off of.
I feel like this is a lot of just trying to find solutions to the lifestealer, but there's going to be so many other problems coming out for the side of Flying Penguins as well, right? Because we've seen what happens with Fear Ogre Magi. Fear Ogre Magi somehow manages to get himself a Midas in very decent time. And there's the Necrophos again that we talked about, you know, being able to stay in lane, being able to sustain.
So not quite a doom, but nonetheless, if you have that Weaver silenced up, for example, you can just drop the scythe on him. And squashed is the bug.
Yeah.
So I will put Necrophos over on the off-lane side there as well.
Lincoln's is going to be necessary for Weaver this game, as it usually is.
5 seconds.
Pairs up really well with the Phoenix as well. Extra heal. Team fight sustain, great aura carrier, great pick, like it.
They could, no, they can't. I say they could go do it themselves. It's actually really good against J.Strom's lineup, but it's like it'd be tough to fit it in.
Yeah, they need something for the mid, most likely.
Now, if they swap this up, if they make this like a off-lane Weaver and like a position 1 slaughter, but then no, who do they go on top of that?
Well, normally what you'd want against Necrophos, we've seen before a lot of heal scepters. Just, you know, he pops the Ghost Shroud, you pop him up into the air.
Gunner Ember?
Otherwise...
The Ember's still there. Gunner's
still there.
specialty.
He could, you know, talking about kiting, you do have to be careful, obviously. There is a little bit of lockdown with the Ogre Magi and the puck having the silence. But it still feels fairly good, right? It feels a little comfortable to be able to still move around the map quite a bit.
Flame Guard this game does seem strong.
Yeah.
His mobility.
This game. Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
there it is.
Good call there.
That's why they pay me the big bucks now. I have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, Gunner Ember. We've seen what he can do on this hero. This guy is seriously sick with just what he can do, what he can achieve, how he can actually recover in some cases. So I'm liking this pick a lot, actually. I know you don't like the Weaver.
I mean, I was going to say they're going to need somebody else to really carry this game, and that does it.
Do you believe in Gunner?
I believe in Gunner, yes.
Do you think it's enough, though? Is this going to be...
I don't believe in Weaver.
You don't believe in Weaver?
So
what about
I'm having
Eternal Envy
this
Weaver,
balance here. Well,
because there's no one quite like Eternal
stay away
Envy.
from that one. I am going to go with... I'm going to go with J.Strom. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to keep up this. Weaver just is not a strong hero right now. You're already putting yourself in a tough spot. They have answers to him. Yes, Ember Spirit's good. It's not a free game for Ember Spirit, as you're pointing out. Still is a good pick, but I'm going to lean towards J.Strom.
All right. What do you think, Kips?
Normally, I would really go for the ease of execution here, and that is really for J.Strom in this game, I believe. On the other hand, Gunnar seems to be great at out-executing, and I do want to root for the more spectacular Dota.
Okay.
I'm gonna go against Breaky here. Let's do it. Let's see this Weaver pick work out. Give this to me.
All right. Well,
give me my points.
I believe in Sama, but more importantly, I believe in Gunnar. After seeing his performances the last couple of games with that Ember Spirit, I think that he's going to be able to make enough space for and we're going to see them. It's probably going to be a long game. I'm totally okay with that. But I think that Flying Penguins, it's in the bag. So production, going to go J.Strom. All right.
They know about Weaver, too.
I mean, you were a huge disbeliever in Rubik mid, and then you saw Lenaro just steamroll on a game.
Yeah, I saw one game out of 10 that we saw, yeah.
You got to have faith, Breaky.
It's possible. Anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett would say, but at the same time, it's a majority of the games.
I just heard from production that they changed their minds. You're all alone, Breaky. All alone.
I'm fine with that.
Do they get to do that?
Fine to be alone and right.
I didn't get to do that.
I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll consider it later. But
that was
production just says they will do whatever they want. So
they are in control.
Yeah. I mean, I knew we were just like pawns here, but that's just inconsiderate. All right, let's see though. Eternal Envy on Weaver as expected. Let's see. Lelis on that offlane Slardar. I want to see that Slardar do well as well. Not gonna lie, that's part of the decision.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give boys some, gotta give props rather to my boy Lelis over here. This guy is super good, and I'm again so happy to see him back to that offlane position. Well, run right underneath that ward. No big surprises though. I'm sure they figured that this was gonna be the setup anyway.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, so they're running aggressive. This is the thing with running a Slardar offlane core as well, is that you can get away with definitely putting him in an aggressive tri lane. He will most certainly lead the way in that. So I think it's going to be hard to match up if you're J.Strom in this case. Right now, they only have the Lifestealer up there. They're going for bounty runes. Something tells me they're going to see what's going on, and I doubt they're going to try to match into it. So maybe we'll see them come aggressive instead, but...
They're looking mighty aggressive right now. Gonna try to go for that steal, but not gonna be able to grab it fast enough here. A little too fast there.
But yeah, this is something that you can do with that Weaver, is run it pseudo off-lane style. Just put it solo on the safe lane and hope you can withstand the pain that your opponent is going to bring.
Well, for all the pain that he's going to be receiving, you do have Gunnar then on that mid-ember, and he should be able to... It's not going to be the most comfortable because obviously a puck is quite strong early on, especially with that base attack damage, but won't have to worry about people running at his face, right, for the ganks if they're already pre-engaged in these other lanes.
That is certainly true. And of course up here the dual lane of March and Moo going up against a full-on aggressive tri-lane, and this Slardar is going to be extremely irritating for Lifestealer later on. You think you're safe in the Rage, but he's just going to bash straight through. And Rage does not last that long early on.
No, it doesn't. In fact, lots of harass is coming out here between Flea and Snake King, just trying to poke away over at that Lifestealer. Mid, again, we expected this to happen. It's going to be, a little bit more difficult for the Ember Spirit, but I've seen how Gunnar can come back during a lane, so I'm not super concerned right now, especially because of the fact that... Flea?
Was that
grabbing
get the creep wave?
creeps, I guess.
I think that was.
And the laser beams coming out. March taking an Illuminate to the face.
Yeah, there is literally no counter push on the side of J.Strom here, so Flying Penguins can just dive him if they want to.
Get that bash. There it is.
Look at that damage that does.
Mm-hmm.
And that's level 1. It's intense. Yeah, you got to be careful. Now, I will say one thing about it is that you'll see Slardars, like, they queue it up and then they go to try to hit the hero and the hero runs away, and it kind of, because it's awkward batch. He doesn't want to use it on a creep and he wants to save it for the hero, so it can be a little funky sometimes, but they're battling over here.
Yeah, they do actually rotate up the Ogre. Now Snake King in for some trouble. There's going to be the Icarus dive and one more hit. March is going to draw the first blood.
An illusion. And back mid, how is that mid going? 12-2 versus 10-1. Puck favored so far.
But take a look at the Weaver versus the Lifestealer right now. We got 6-1 over on Weaver, 3-1 on Lifestealer. So even though Envy is all alone in this lane, and again, we did see the rotations coming out here, he is doing better than the Lifestealer at the very least.
Yeah, but again, that's you're dealing with the Lifestealer that's obviously going up what he's here. Yeah, this is not fun, whereas Weaver on the other hand, as you mentioned, 1v1, but now Lifestealer's in trouble.
The roll in, they get it. They find the kill over onto Moo.
Yeah, again, I go back to I'm a little surprised J.Strom is choosing to man. Something tells me we're going to see an eventual change. Maybe they want to get like level 6. Oh, that's pretty big. Yeah, that's a wand, and we know how important wand is on Necrophos.
Mm-hmm.
The value, it's strongest item on the, or strongest hero with that wand, you could argue, but
hate this hero.
Now, the build, yeah, to be fair, the build he went last time, he did not get Ghost Shroud against the Doom. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a different matchup. It's against a Weaver, a little bit more physical presence, but I assume he's going to go the same build. And you got to kind of level up that Heartstopper now because you want that regen. That was the big change to the hero.
Right. All right, top lane again. Lelis, they're just kind of splitting up just a little bit here. Just trying to poke and prod, but Fire Blast will connect over onto the Slardar. Lelis should be able to get himself away, no problem. Fear is just doing, Ogre Magi things, right? You'd be really pesky, you're a big tanky boy.
And they're occupying the supports of J.Strom during the side pull that the Colo was doing in the meanwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Double damage.
Double damage picked up over onto Puck, makes its way over. The CS is still fairly even though over here.
Yeah, the big winner in this laning stage right now is the Necrophos. And of course the Weaver is not going to be able to stop him from farming at all. Also see that Eternal Envy picks up a bottle, I think, in order to just sustain through this constant assault of damage that the Necrophos is putting out.
That is one thing that we're talking about. What we like about Envy is that he's not afraid to, you know, make whatever adjustments are necessary to get what he needs, especially, you know, during laning and whatnot.
Whenever you're taking such heavy harassment like this, you tend to spend mana frequently, and then on top of that, he does have a way to get to those bounty runes quicker than others. It kind of all adds up to be, yeah, bottle actually does make sense in the safe lane there, but they're fighting over the eventual 5-minute bounty rune at this point.
Yeah, Flea looking like he might be in for a little bit of trouble here. He's trying to just get himself forward. Does go ahead, pops those charges, has it very far. Beautiful crush coming out, and they'll be able to go and grab that rune. Flea's gonna roll on out. March sitting very low, actually. Flea turning back around. He needs to get maybe a little bit more hit. Can they find it? The laser beams come through from Snaking. They'll find it with an Illuminate. This lane is not going well for J.Strom.
It almost went well right there. I mean, Earth Spirit, the fact that he lived, insane. That was a great time stun by Lelis.
They even managed to save the bounty rune on the other side for the Ember by keeping them so busy.
Yep, and he's going to go right back mid with that. So he needs to be close to that puck.
Poor EE didn't get anything, and he has to walk all the way back, presumably with a full bottle. Yeah.
Finishes Wraith Bands along the way, but yeah, using that Shikuchi to make his way back into the lane. This is a hero too. One of the bigger changes from what I recall. Oh, that was a Dream Coil.
Yeah, what did you learn, Gunner? With the line,
was that a sleight of fist, or I don't know?
It must have been.
Oh yeah, so about Weaver, I think he used to have a level 10 talent that actually, it was like 30% experience gain. And I believe they moved it to level 15 now. Oh no, it is level 10. Okay, so it is the Mana Break.
Yes, the Mana Break.
That's the one, okay.
Because that used to be this huge power spike for Weavers that they didn't have to actually build a Diffusal Blade anymore at all, which is something that you didn't really want to do anyway.
I was wondering why they left that Invisor in there.
Well,
oh, they have a sentry though. March chasing after Flea. Isn't going to be able to quite find him. These spirits though landing. It's actually, is it going to pop? Yeah. It's going to take him down.
That's a tip, right?
I mean,
I love how you
look
call
at
those
all
gifts.
of those remnants.
Look for those.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Get in their head.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
I felt very, I was interested to see why they actually had left the Invis, because I know that Gunner saw it. Puck actually was orbing over toward, or sent the orb over, so definitely saw it, but.
Oh, back to your point though, Kip says, yeah, the Mana Break level 15 now instead of 10, so. Yeah, it's a little bit less of a power spike now when it comes to that damage output. Especially with the Geminate.
Weaver is now jungling. That's not a phrase that you want to have to say at all.
Snaking finding the kill over on March in this top lane. They're going to keep rolling, trying to find themselves a fear here. We'll be able to land that crush. They'll turn it around. Ignite, slowing them down just a little bit, but this Coddle's doing so much work. They'll be able to find the kill and take down Fear.
Well, we have a case of J.Strom's accepting that they're losing the top lane, but they're winning the other two. So, of course, simple math says that should favor them. Specifically with the Necrophos down here, as we really stressed.
But don't you fear more that... Because you look, all right, so the Puck's doing very well, as is the Necrophos. But you've also got, you know, your top lane, like this, the Slardar's pretty close in net worth. Do you... I feel like you fear more the Slardar, right, than you fear the Necrophos getting the farm? Or is that miss?
Well,
Slardar is, a little bit more of a utility hero. Necrophos is a bit more pressure. The biggest thing for me is that the Ember Spirit had a fairly decent lane on a hero where you expect to, you know, where trading even in the lane is good. And he hasn't exactly lost that hard. So he is going to be ramping up, going some form of farm items, probably also some form of mobility, and then it's very hard to actually keep pace with him. So that would be the biggest concern for me coming out of the laning stage.
Oh, Envy.
Maybe a bit too greedy.
Puck is here.
There's a Flea is nearby though. Dream Coil gets used. They actually don't grab him at all.
That was actually well played. The timing, time lapse it right as the coil was coming out. That was actually very well played by Envy. Yeah.
Bryle's been off on 2 of these now. This is the second Dream Coil where he hasn't caught anything, I believe.
All right, Weaver's good. You sold me, Envy.
Careful, it's Eternal Envy. This could change at any moment. They're breaking.
The game is not done yet. And they're leaving this Lifestealer alone against the Slardar, but as a solo carry, like, there's almost no solo carry that can trade against this guy.
He's got the Corrosive Haze up too, which has got to be pretty scary for this Lifestealer.
There is no way you can lifesteal enough that he...
Snaking, gonna mess with them as much as he can. This is problematic here. Mid lane, though, do have the Sunray over on Gunner. He doesn't seem too concerned, turns around, just grabs that last hit, even throws out the chains over onto the Phoenix here.
Yeah, I feel like most games that we've seen this Lifestealer, as powerful as he's been mainly one that's free farmed. Now, this is one of the rare instances where Moo is going to have to play from behind on this hero, and this is not a hero that screams, I can just recover. You know, he's not terrible at setting illusion into the jungle. This is going to be a rough recovery road, it feels like, for Moo, and he does still have the Hand of Midas queued up, of course, but any room control.
And they actually do manage to get the Waning Rift, and again, Flee standing nearby, nice roll forward, and he's going to be able to go slide himself away. Needs to be careful that these creeps over here don't give them a hand. How many times has that happened?
Full Scythe.
Is he going to be able to get out? Oh, he had Scythe up and he didn't get it off.
If he Scythes first there, I wonder.
Oh yeah, I think you might have.
I mean, Scythe first stops the TP no matter what, so in hindsight.
Well, all the way earlier today, there was actually a Lifestealer who had not, perhaps even a rougher lane than this. It was Matumba Man up against Team Secret, and he never did get back into the game at all. He went for a Midas, he went for a Radiance, just couldn't pull it off. So that is a tough road to recovery, and instead of sending him into the jungle or keeping on that doomed top lane, instead J.Strom gonna put Moo mid here, and I guess that's the safest lane for him to be in right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I presume we're going to see him transition to the bot lane at some point,
Radiant's bottom
where there is now
tower
this
has
extra
fallen.
space thanks to his 2 farmed cores taking down that tower. And
I have a feeling this tower's not going to be long for this world now. Oh, look at this. Lilith figuring that there's someone here in these woods, but not going to be able to quite find March over there in the trees. And the TP's coming in. It'll be the Necrophos. They're looking, and immediately following up here, you've got the Silence being thrown out over onto the Necro. Boulder won't quite connect. There's the roll through, though, and they're still just playing Ring Around the Rosie on this tower. But there's so many people up here now. I think you want to back up. And again, the Phoenix going to be able to slow down Eternal Envy. Lelis moving himself away.
we made a nice attempt on the career there.
It's a lot of TPs that just came in, though. That's a lot of space for Envy. Or sorry, not Envy. He's not there anymore. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Coddle.
Coddle. Snaking.
Snaking.
The real carry.
Yeah.
Middle lane, though.
Nice and fast. Yep, he's just going to chill. Obviously, there's not much you can do about that if you're the Radiant other than wait.
We'll get the Waning Rift
try not
off.
to die.
I don't think Gunner's too concerned about this.
What kind of build is Ember going for? He's got drums queued up. The age-old question is this going to be more magic focus or physical focus? You do have a Corrosive Haste to benefit from, so I know the right-click Ember build is the thing of the past somewhat, but there's a game to do it. I suppose you could argue maybe this time around. You're dealing with a Rage Lifestealer on the other side. I guess where does that start, right? And it starts with like a Battle Fury, but
Yes.
something tells me we're not going to see Battle Fury though, so I guess I
Usually like
answered
the
my own
Maelstrom
question.
build is what's
Yeah,
still
probably
been
more of the
picked up.
Maelstrom. That goes back to more of a Yule's Maelstrom, you know, things like that, Mjolnir eventually.
I would expect Yules out of him in general this game, just because the puck silence will otherwise be devastating. And he's just keeping up the pressure on the mid lane. Like,
Why
this is
you
also correct
shouldn't
play.
have. Thank you for the gift. He's trying to go for a stack and ends up just giving it over to the Ember. Necrophos is getting bullied out of his own jungle right now.
Yeah, can't overlook Swarm as well from Weaver himself. And not only the Corrosive Haze, but with Swarm, you're looking at plenty of minus armor. Oh,
All right, Dreamcall will land over onto the Weaver. They don't quite have the vision, though. Wow, they're using everything. And there it is. Gonna take him down there.
bug on a leash. Couldn't go anywhere.
Like Kip said, it's going to be very important he gets himself a Yules.
Yeah.
Not on the
Well,
Sorry,
no,
not the
not
Yules. Oh,
that.
no, sorry. Oh, man.
Had to do a double
All right,
take
wow.
there.
Where's my brain today? I'm so sorry, guys.
All right, I have no eyes. Moxie has no brain.
Yeah, apparently.
I suppose on that though, like a BKB for Weaver
Something, though, to
is
protect him from
decent, but again, even a BKB is not. BKB is pretty good actually. You got the Phoenix A. You
It
got
is Envy. Maybe it's not impossible that he do that, but I don't think we want to see that.
BKB is actually decent here.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea.
Now what I would be is this.
Oh, nice Ignis coming through. We'll be able to hold the puck in place for a little bit longer. They're going to be able to follow up with a crush, and that'll be an easy slight here for Gunner. They'll chase after Fear here. They'll be able to connect, and he's also going to be taken down. This time the kill going over to Envy.
I was gonna say I do wonder if Envy could, because again I think we're all in agreement here that Gunnar and Ember Spirit is going to be the true carry of this game, and you could help that idea with an Axe eventually on Weaver.
That's true.
We were seeing that off-lane Weaver build for a while, even support Weavers that would build up to the Axe, and again, able to use that time lapse on teammates and the cooldown reduction. So that's down the line, and I'm not saying he should be going early by any means, but.
And both the carries that were behind picked up Midas's within 10 seconds of one another.
It's happening frequently.
No, we were in the Midas meta once again. It's 2 game at least, it feels like.
Dream Coil coming through. He's going to go steal that rune. Starter waiting for the snap.
That was
Very
great
well
timing.
timed, yes. But
Still going to get taken down, I think, although that's a really nice crush. Bryle still doesn't quite have that illusory orbs coming up very momentarily here. But so is the sprint. He's out.
Not only the range, like knowing the exact range you can be before it snaps, but also just the timing of then leaving right as it finished. I mean, it's plays like that you just got to really appreciate it, and it takes tens or hundreds of thousands of hours of playing.
That's 2 cores you're fighting here.
Yeah, he's fine.
No, it's just that's probably a sign that the lane you're in is about to get invaded. I guess Fear was showing on the bot lane who is his real big threat right now. And of course the Dream Coil was down, which he knows thanks to Les's excellent escape earlier. Excellent escape.
There we go.
Yeah, sure.
Bottom. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Shining the sphere and the Illuminate coming through. One more hit should do the trick if he could ever get there. I don't think he's going to be able to find it now. He'll be able to go use that crush and have to sprint himself away. He's taken a lot of fiery damage here for a little fishy, but going to be able to TP out. The rollover in the mid lane. Flea's going to get taken down as the 3 heroes on the side of the Dire commence on this tower. Eternal Envy is just going to run through.
Pull the creep wave, I suppose.
Yeah, I thought for a second he was actually going to risk it and aggro the creep wave more to drag it away, but there's no backdoor protection on that mid tower anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. It's just a cheeky little play.
Yeah, Puck Lifestealer Bomb is something that we're going to see plenty of throughout this game too. I think we saw that right there actually. Kind of got to it late, but it's expect that. In fact, now with the Blink Dagger, as I was just about to mention, went the bots first on Puck as well, so Bryle's mobility on point. All 3 top net worth in the game belong on the Dire side, and this kind of goes back to this Necrophos. Kind of does his own thing in the lane early on, but now he's going to start joining up with the team and choosing to get a Veil. Actually, great synergy with both the Puck, but even these Infest bombs on top of that. He plans it before.
And I think the lack of pressure on that mid lane just now, it really gave Moose so much space to come back. And he is actually here right now again. So not getting his towers pushed in, not getting chased around the map, even though he was so underfarmed, is really helping him out. And right now this Midas is actually just straight up going to pay off for him.
All right, here comes our first Infest Bomb. Got that Puck, has the Blink Dagger and a Lifestealer inside, and they are putting some pressure though on the top. We'll be able to take down Fear, maybe translate this into a bit of a tower push.
Dire's top tower is under
Almost
attack.
expected to see like immediate TPs at the top line, because they're still hunting at the bottom, hoping that somebody's down here, but
No.
there's no stragglers. They're all up top.
Well, we'll be able to get this tower. It was a little bit of wasted time, right, because of Moon just hanging around in the Puck, but not too bad. He's just going to be able to go farm up this lane and hit these creeps.
Man, Moo recovered.
Oh, yeah.
Stressing how, again, this hero's not one that is going to recover fast. Hannah Midas helps, but I got to say, if he at this rate, he's going to have a Radiance just over 21 minutes or so in this game. It's pretty fast, considering the start.
They do have set up camp, though, over on the side of the Dire jungle. We see all the Radiant Vision and just really kind of situating themselves up there.
Fear holding the fort on top. And yeah, Gunnar is the one that you're going to have to send to the bot lane at this point, although does he have a defensive item yet?
No,
Nope.
he doesn't.
No, he does not. He is in for some trouble. Scythe comes out, he's toast.
He went drums into, he's going Maelstrom actually, so I'm with you, Kips. I'm surprised he's not going Yules. Yules is very good this game for him.
Especially because they don't have vision down there and no one was playing up on that top half of the map. You have to realize that they have to be down in that area.
So he thought he could get out, and to be fair, he is very tanky against all of the magical damage that they're going to be throwing against him with the Flame Guard, but not that tanky. And Lelis is saying, all right, now your team is on
I'm
bot
Ursa
lane.
now.
Well, with the amount of physical damage that hero is capable of putting out, he might as well be.
I mean, they've got
He's
the
got-
Vlads. And
Yeah. He's got the flats, he's got his physical damage amp, he's got Eternal Envy.
what more could a Lelis need?
Yeah, whenever you have a corrosive haze, you can definitely. You're always a bit of a Roshan threat, and they are going to be correct. It's not going to be any bit reacted by J.Strom.
Again, they've got a Gunner in the bottom lane there.
I guess J.Strom just figures this is too early. As we're approaching 20 minutes in, now the bounty rune's coming up, so they're going for those instead. But yep, that's going to be Roshan.
Hello? Oh, okay, there's Gunner.
Leave for Gunner. Snatched by the Phoenix.
That was a forehead moment for a second there.
Dire's middle tower.
All right,
is
so-
under
Definitely give
attack.
it to Ember this game.
Oh, we got a completed Spirit Vessel now, up and running over on the Earth
and-
Spirit.
Earth Spirit. Okay.
That's pretty good, especially against the Necrophos.
Great item to counter the Necrophos.
Just got to get some charges in that bad boy.
Yes.
He is going Lotus Orb. Was he the one that went Holy Locket? Or I know we saw it on a Timber Saw. Did he go Holy Locket that
no,
game
was
or no?
Brax. That was
somebody
Brax
else.
who got
Okay.
it.
I'd say it's in a couple of games. God, what was it? The Bristleback Zai picked it up.
Yes.
I'm still. I want to find out why. Like we were talking about it back and forth, and
Smoke
it's
here.
just that was an interesting pickup.
Dire's top
Second
tower
attempt at
is under
trying to
attack.
find a. Actually, no, what, third at this point? I think they did find someone during their first Infest Bomb. Lotus Orb is completed now for the Necrophos, too. But it's just taking a little too long here. Moo getting impatient. Gonna just go back to hitting creeps because he's sitting at close to the top of the net worth. Bottom lane, though, they do manage to find Forev. Nice bash coming through. He's got the Lotus Orb up, and there's gonna be the puck. Again, has those boots of travel. Waiting for that opportunity to jump back in with the Dream Coil. Gunner running in again. Wants to just put some more damage onto Forev. I don't think they realize that Brile is here just yet. But
They're
we'll
gonna
just
see him now.
slowly try to slow him down. They've got the Ignis up, trying to grab them, and actually almost grab the puck too for like a split second. And there's gonna be the Slight coming through. Big Illuminate coming out as well. Forev still alive. This is a very, very hard to kill here, but the jump forward coming out from Lelis. Are they gonna be able to find it? They're not gonna be able to get it, but Gunner is still alive. He's just sliding around back and forth. They get the Scythe off. Flea gonna get taken down now. Weaver running out. Egg will get used. Moo has now joined the battle. Forev is still alive. They initiated on this guy, and he's still alive and kicking right now.
Remember when Necrophos was in the meta? That was a reminder of what we saw so much of. Like, this hero does not die. It is absolutely insane. They threw everything at him, and they still could not take him out. They killed the puck in the process, but dear God. And now that's going to be a Radiance on Lifestealer coming out, but yeah, that's good. That's going to be a constant issue in this game. Necrophos killing him, especially now with that Lotus Orb alone. And yeah, you see the high and minus being pointed out on Ogre as expected, with all the multicast procs.
And he's going to have the 90. Yeah, he's already got the 90 GPM.
And this is one of the
going on.
best attempts they were going to get with, Moo having just left Brile to farm on the top lane. This was a legit 5v4, and they were not able to get anything out of that. In fact, they might have even lost something during that exchange. So that doesn't bode well for the side of Flying Penguins at all.
Eternal Envy is jumping up on the net worth chart. He's actually top on his team, which I don't know if it's good or bad.
Canes?
Not going to connect
Very
right there.
close.
But
I don't think you go after Forev anymore at this point.
no, you definitely
He's not
can't
afraid.
feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I see
Where is
Envy.
Weaver
TP's
going?
out.
He's got his
his
Deso.
Deso online.
Very fragile build, but he's here to just right-click quickly.
I feel like Snake's had a lot of space to be able to farm. Oh, okay. Moo found himself a kill over onto Lelis. Was that a lifesteal? I'm guessing it was a
Guessing
lifestealer bomb,
it
considering the
was.
price of Haze is up
It's
and
on
running over on
cooldown
that.
and everything. Dream Coil was used, it looks like.
And now Gunnar with his Aegis is... He's playing very aggressive with it, very far forward, but I'm not sure if he can actually find someone and kill them. The Lifestealer's a no-go, Forev's a no-go. The Puck, maybe he's the only one that died during the previous fight.
Speaking of Lifestealer, we've actually seen a little bit of this, and I guess you can call it kind of the miracle thing. The Manta style on Lifestealer actually seems pretty strong in this game. You already have the Radiant Synergy, and it purges off quite a bit.
You're going to trigger Kips by saying that.
I'm just sitting here, staring into the distance.
Your PTSD on that.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
No, but go in the armlet for now at least. But that could be down the line.
Smoke again with his Aegis, Eternal Envy flanking. Fear is
boy.
a pretty solid opening.
So nice Ignis followed up with a good crush. And again, Gunnar trying to find this opening here. Will be able to burn down Fear. They'll turn their attention now. Necrophos ticking down, but they're going to try to run out. Lola's not going to be able to do it. Egg's going to get popped. They actually managed to finally take down the Necrophos. They need to take down this Egg too. Are they going to be able to do it in time? They do manage to find it, and now they're going to turn their attention. Then they take down Eternal Envy. They will take down Brow though, and this is Moo just running around in circles looking for whatever. Gonna have to TP himself out here, as Gunnar has just been moving around these fights.
Spirit Vessel won in that fight, 100%. It ultimately allowed him to kill the Necrophos. And we saw it taking down Puck in the end too. Yeah, that Spirit Vessel, really, really big. Of course, yeah, Ember Spirit dealing majority of the damage, but that's what stood out to me there.
You could clearly see that the Ember Spirit, like J.Strom didn't want to kill him. They didn't want to trigger that Aegis just yet. It's been reclaimed right now. And yeah, you gotta ask yourself if that was really the right decision to go after the others instead. But good fight from Flying Penguins, just when I thought that they were really going to be in trouble.
I got the BKB picked up now too for the Ember Spirit, so if you think that he was hard to pin down last fight, he's going to be even more difficult to get a hold of now. He's going to be able to make as much chaos as possible.
And Shiva's guard next. So the slows are going to be extremely useful against that Lifestealer, as well as catching up to a Shrouded Necrophos, for example.
He's going the Holy Locket on Necrophos. You know, one of the few times we're going to see this item, but Necrophos is a hero that makes sense on it. It's, I think it's like 25% heal amp, essentially, that he puts out, so.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So J.Strom so far has managed to hold onto this mid tower, which is their staging area for Roche, obviously. So they're going to really try to keep a hold of that, because obviously the Roche got sneaked the previous time by Flying Penguins. And they want to keep their access.
Oh, what a nice infest bomb, Weaver.
Oh, so close.
No.
Lelis was actually guarding, but not much that he could do right there.
I think they both get kind of blown up there. These hard commit.
Good pick off. Does find them on the bottom side of the map once again, though, without really any tower to threaten.
You can tell that's great communication too. Puck actually started TPing to the bottom lane, and then Moo ran over and jumped inside with the infest. So clearly,
and the bus was leaving. He was either getting in there or he was staying home that day.
Jump in right as the door closed.
Right.
Dire's middle
tower though, gotta get forward.
Still not dead. It's been like that life for the last 30 seconds. It feels like.
They still don't have the bottom tower either. On the side of the Radiant thing.
No, you're right.
It's not a priority at all.
No, it's the most worthless tower, I believe, right? Is that?
As
far as the initial towers go.
Yeah, because the big one is, of course, the mid one to be able to secure the Roche advantage.
Second deny of tower here for J.Strom. They also denied the top earlier.
Let's see, Dagon Puck. Got that all queued up.
Now, what I really like is the amount of farm priority that Flying Penguins is giving to their Keep Block the Lights. That Coddle is slowly but surely getting up there. He's got the refresher queued up. Look at the amount of cash that man has.
Yeah, this is the build. It's an odd build, but Trank, Force Staff, and then right-click that refresher eventually. We see so many of these Coddles doing this.
Another Infest Bomb now. Bryle going to take his Lifestealer for a ride. They're going to back up the Necrophos, it looks. Oh, they've got the Dream Coil. They're going to be able to find Flegos. He pops the Shrine. He's going to try to juke around a little bit in circles. He's still alive, even though he probably should have been dead a couple seconds ago, but... They managed to find it. Gunnar now just going to go ahead, slight. There's a lot of people over here in the mid lane. He's going to have to go right to that. Oh, but they knew. They saw it earlier. So Ember going to have to run himself away here.
Yes.
Canceled it.
He TP'd and then canceled. Does he have any teammates nearby?
No, but they're not going to
there's a...
He's out.
Eternal Envy was threatening the tower here, and I'd rather focus on that. That was extremely close, though.
Yeah.
A little bit of a panic moment there.
I was going to say, I don't think that was a juke. That was just more of simply.
My bad, he says. Yeah. Gonna put his TP on CD now for a little bit as well.
So BKB for Weaver. Honestly, an Ags on Puck feels really good, especially now that we got one on Ember Spirit. You see Weaver's building one. He had the Dagon queued up, but I mean, it could be if he sees those happening. I mean, he could sit on level 1 Dagon and still go.
Dagon. Yeah.
I thought you were about to say a Ags on Weaver.
I mentioned that earlier. That I don't know. As the game is developed, he actually is a bit of a damage shot himself, so I don't think it makes the most sense here. But if Ember took off, then yeah, I could see an Ags on Weaver.
With the amount of sustained damage it has, as opposed to the amount of burst that is coming out of J.Strom, like, if one of those jumps goes wrong or goes at least not on the Weaver, then an Aghanim's could actually suit him very well. And I mean, longer fights are going to suit the Necrophos almost as much as they will suit the Ember Spirit. So it's a bit of a toss-up if they want to do that or not. But I'd enjoy seeing it.
Oh, nice.
Winner gets the DD.
Double damage.
Refresher finished on Coddle though.
The Venn diagram of pain is coming.
You cannot move. If he staggers those perfectly, then you're pretty much perma-stunned for that duration, it seems like.
It is guaranteed like 1-1 team fight. It's sort of like a coupon, you know? He gets to exchange that for 1-1 team fight at a time of his choosing.
Yeah.
He did the dishes for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, Coddle does strike me as the type of hero that would be a couponer, but we do get the BKB picked up over onto Slardar too, so this is getting a little bit hairier now for the side of J.Strom. It'll be harder to lock them down for sure.
Man, I knew we were going to get into a close game here, but this is only 1k difference at 30 minutes now.
It is, yeah, that's surprising you say that, because to me it seems like J.Strom's in a much, much better lead. In fact, the win percentage, I wouldn't be surprised, is something like 70-30 for them. Okay, it's 56-44. Wow, it's, I don't know, it just doesn't, it doesn't feel that close to me, but maybe that's because I'm a Weaver hater, I don't know.
It might just be.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not denying it.
Like the net worth that J.Strom has is
Now they spotted out Gunner over here. Turn back around. They've got the silence out over here on the Necrophos, maybe hoping to burn him down. Oh, there's the first Ignis coming through. Got the Lotus Orb up, but they just cut down that Necro. He is out of here. And they'll turn their attention over to the Egg. Not going to be able to cut it down fast enough, but that is Egg now on cooldown. And they still have another Ignis up. So if they want to go in there, if they want to take this Roche, they have other solutions to it. Fear over here. What does he have? He can.
No matter how farm this Necrophos gets, that Spirit Vessel is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
It's another. It's again. It's the reason they were able to kill him right there. So
they're smoked up again, figring that they want to stick nearby immediately. Lelis blinking up. They still don't know that they're there. In fact, they find the Phoenix possibly. It's going to be the TP over to the front. It is a Lifestealer bomb, and they're going to jump forward again. The Yule's coming out. Multicast comes out over onto the Coddle. Needs to be able to go and drop it. There it is. There's the Ignis. They'll be able to take down the puck. Can they find anything else here? The Rage coming out from Moo will keep them alive, but they do manage to find the kill over onto March. And there's two different fights going on here. Coddle versus the Ogre, and the more important fight of Moo, of course, fighting Eternal Envy. And look, Gunner's not even done yet. He's like, come back here, Fear. Fear deciding, all right, I've had enough. I am going to TP out. This is their Roche now for the taking. Nice.
Gem was being passed around.
Yes, Gunnar just not getting locked down there at all was so incredibly important. And like dropping the second Ignis there, I think it's necessary just because you want the attention of the Lifestealer to be firmly focused on that ball of light instead of any of your compatriots. But
Rage only lasts so long too, so you gotta take advantage of that.
Yeah, you see being highlighted right there, the True Strike talent picked up by Ember Spirit.
yes. And I really enjoyed that decision to go for the smoke, to go fight up into that shrine area, because on one hand that's a very hard fight. On the other hand, they kind of don't want to buy back that Necrophos at all. So you can force the issue, especially if you're feeling strong, you feel like you have that area control with the Ignis, with the huge amount of cleave, well, slash damage, I should say, coming out from the Ember Spirit. So yeah, just going up there, taking it, secures the Rose, secures the mid tower, and I'd say that from an equal game, we've now gone to one where Flying Penguins is definitely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, 5,000 net worth lead, and Weaver has actually overtaken as top farm in the game. I mean, if this hero is able to sit there and dish out damage, then most certainly, with that Gemini attack, the Desolator,
You say this so begrudgingly.
he can do this.
Yes.
he can dish out damage. Never said he couldn't.
And once the Slardar is a long way away from this, by the way, but the Slardar is eventually going to make his way to that level 25 talent where he gets the undispellable damage amp. And you saw how much damage moo copped when he was out of rage and damage amped. That Weaver plus the Slardar really hits like a truck. 2 trucks.
Together, colliding. Ags was queued up there for Puck. So yeah, that is going to be the answer to
the BKBs on the Weaver in the Emerald.
Yep, and I think that's definitely the correct choice, and I do think that could be a game changer early there. That's because clearly that mobility is an issue.
Big ol' smoke. Lella's just leading the charge here. That's such a ridiculous.
I love that.
Dire.
Oh, I was trying to find it. They're gonna know though. He's over here going for his other rune. That should be a dead march. And TP's actually coming out here immediately. Kato making his way over, wants to make sure he can get those other runes for his family here. Fear, gonna go grab this one here as well.
Snaking got it. He is so fast.
I mean, he is on a Pegasus horse.
See, Kato got nerfed. Was not enough. He's still such a speedy old man. Seems like a bit of a contradiction.
I mean, have you seen an old person on a scooter?
Yeah.
Those things move.
Hey,
They run you over.
Yeah.
does the home know he's driving that fast?
I don't know, but immediately running into this base, Lotus Orb's gonna get popped over here on Forev. Gonna try to do a little bit of damage here to the tower. Bloodlust is gonna get hit, throwing out that slight. Trying to clean things up just a little bit. These Cardis all forted up, as is the base though.
Yeah, Bloodlust in the tower. You just look at how fast that thing is attacking. That is something that.
Oh!
All right, so glass cannon build. That'll happen.
Surprise!
That's the end of the siege for now.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Putting it
under
mildly.
I mean, like everyone saw what happened there. I don't think I have a lot to add.
Nope. I'm sure that's being clipped for a
A moment.
a moment.
Moment in time.
Pour one out for our boy there.
Yeah, another chapter.
Sound of 3 casters face palming and a bug getting squashed.
Yeah.
He does have a buyback though, so as long as Flying Penguin stays relatively close to their shrine, they are still able to fight if they'd like to. So no need to just
Lilith.
back immediately.
Follow up. They do have the Lotus Orb over here. They actually dropped the Ignis because they're hoping to maybe put some damage over onto the Necrophos, but not going to be able to get it. They have a Force Staff.
Well, he had Ghost Shot active too. It's a sort of turn to him and couldn't do anything.
I just love the fact that, you know, they did. They went and picked up the Force Staff over on the Necrophos because, you know, you're going to be running into these Ignis. You're going to have issues with this. So if you can use that Force Staff, or, you know, if a Slardar jumps forward, you can try to scoot yourself away or save your teammates too. Just a really great item.
He's been having a lot of trouble getting himself away from getting chased by the Ember and the Slardar as well.
That's true.
500 gold. Puck will have the Yags. BKB being worked on the Necrophos.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, Breaky, that it's very possible that the pickup of the Axe on the Puck is going to change this game around, because that means that, well, we saw Eternal Envy not even being able to activate his BKB earlier, but, you know, in the case that he is, it's not even going to be the panic button reset for him anymore. You just gotta stay there, or break the link and suffer.
Another way to help answer the BKBs too is that Abyssal Blade eventually, and we saw the Basher for Lifestealer coming on his way to that inevitably.
I feel like there's so many damage dealers though coming out from the side of Flying Penguins though. It's a little bit concerning. Even if you manage to get that Abyssal off, you still have a Slardar that's going to be up in your face, especially once he gets that level 25 talent, the Undispellable Corrosive, and then of course Eternal Envy, as long as he doesn't get picked off early by a Lifestealer Bomb.
Flea is building a Hex.
Always a good choice.
I saw that, yeah, 4,400 gold saved up, so he's actually almost there.
What does Fear have right now? Because I know he favors to pick up the Hex. Okay, nowhere near that.
Crimson Guard.
It's gonna be for the Crimson.
His own Force Staff as well.
I think that's a necessity in this particular game.
Yeah.
The Crimson Guard is decent, although like the physical damage is mostly going to come in, you know, big smacks from the Weaver and from that Slardar.
Weaver should be the first one to hit 25, thanks to that talent. At level 10. Level 25, though, that Shikuji movement speed is...
Silly.
That was a crazy race car, yeah.
It is ridiculous.
And actually, yeah, you see right there, Coddles. Almost 25, too. He's level 23, in fact, the same as Weaver. Just about. He hit 24.
Like if you look at this net worth graph over here, you see the poor Phoenix just almost falling off at the bottom.
Yeah.
But it's not even because he is that poor, it's more because everyone else is so dang rich.
Well, this is a hero that we, even before this whole Midas meta, we were seeing pick up a hand of Midas, but that's a little surprising to me that actually doesn't go for one.
It's been pretty difficult for him to...
Well, Fear's already got one. Do you really think you have that space?
Oh, March. Oh.
He didn't roll first, oh.
I think, like, sometimes muscle memory makes you kick first.
Maybe.
Yeah, that very likely could have been that.
Nice Arcane Rune picked up with the Ember Spirit.
That would be a good ghost sign normally. Oh, and that's a load of items picked up. BKB, Crimson Guard. So.
All right. Oh,
And the Sulkura, so everybody's building some nice items. The site.
Okay.
All right. Apparently it was payday in the Dota 2 world, and everyone is buying their items that they've been saving their pennies for.
So both of them are going to be looking for a clash now, most likely. And
I think it's going to come down to who gets the jump on who.
Well, Puck Lifestealer Bomb, that's the Dire team's going to hope for.
that's a good one. It's very important for Flying Penguins now that whoever gets jumped, it's gotta not be Tocotl. If Tocotl dies, they have kind of no team fight left. No way to disable all of these huge damage.
Oh, Envy. He comes out, though, from Flea immediately, and they're going to go throw down that Ignis. We talked about this. The Coddle's still alive and kicking over here on the back end. Lula's trying to find an opening. We'll get the egg off, and there's the BKBs coming out. Envy and just all of this team, just all the BKBs being able to save them right up. We'll be able to finally find the kill over onto Flea, but I don't think you're too concerned about that. Fear's going to fall in the back lines, and now they're turning around here. This Weaver going to have to go and time-lapse himself back. Moo in a lot of trouble here. Does have that Lotus Orb. They've got the BKB up and running over onto Fureb, but he can't do so much to help his friends right now. Will be rooted into place, and they're going to get a double kill over onto Envy. Will they be able to grab Fureb? He's trying to run back into the base. Envy says, come back here. We aren't done with you just yet again. Lotus Orb getting used. They might go in for this dive. There's going to be the bugs being thrown out over onto Fureb. Buybacks coming out from the Lifestealer. They realize, okay, maybe we're getting a little too greedy diving past this tier 3. But very good fight coming out for the side of Flying Penguins.
We saw it coming of many items, but the MVP item was S-Scythe, 100%. It hit Puck right as the initiation was happening, and Puck just didn't do anything. He couldn't even get a Dream Coil off because of that with their new Ags, and that was the big game-changing item potentially on the Dire side. So absolutely Flea God there coming through.
Such an awkward little moment. It's hard for me to say anything about that fight because I don't think that either team was really looking to fight yet. Looked like the Radiant were mostly scouting, Dire were mostly setting up for it, and all of a sudden you run into each other. And one of them has the fastest fingers. You get the Hex off.
Yeah, Flea got those reflexes. Split second later, and it would have totally turned, I think.
If he doesn't hit that, Weaver very likely dies at the beginning right there, and then get a completely different game.
For sure. Roche is back up. This would be the next objective. I think this would be the third Roche with the Refresher.
Yes. I heard another Infest go off.
Well, let's...
Fuck.
He can see them. He's watching. He knows they've gone into the pit. They've got another Ignis.
Yeah, Gunner's gonna scout here.
Throwing out.
A tool to teach.
I love you just giving a couple little pokes. The jump in coming out from Lullis. There's the Ignis. It's a little bit off the mark here. Moo going to turn around. He wants to try to take it down. They have the BKB though up and running over onto Fureb. They're going to turn their attention over here to the egg, trying to chop it down as fast as possible. It actually will go off here. Gunner having to go up onto the high ground. Lullis now trying to run himself back. Envy's still alive since Gunner's just going on a monster kill streak right now. This guy is just absolutely out of control. Moo though finds a kill over onto Flea. Will be able to get the Searing Chains off. He's just dancing around here in the background. Can they find this way to close though? Buyback coming out from Fear right now. Gunner against the world, it feels, is going to be able to get a couple of these slides out. Roshan completely out of the pit here. He's like, what is happening around my house? The Infest Bomb pops out yet again. Envy, can he get himself away fast enough? Does have the time lapse. It looks like Fella's going to get taken down here. Now Snake King trying to run himself out in the back line, so Gunner is godlike. They're still chasing after Snake King. Gunner still, what is happening back there? He's all hasted up. He's going to turn back around. They had the buyback come out from Phoenix, and after all is said and done, this Ember Spirit is just still alive and kicking. He even manages to turn back around. Can he get out. He's got the BKB. Does he go back in again? He doesn't have a whole heck of a lot for mana. He's going to try to just use that slight, bounce himself around, try to chase them off the tail. This is a high-speed chase. They finally manage to get the Dream Coil on, and eventually they take him down for 1,097 gold.
Jeez. 10-kill streak stopper.
Yep, he did manage to take out the Ogre for the dieback in the backline, so. And
So you're saying worth it?
I mean, I'm not saying worth it. I'm saying it means they can fight now, if they'd like to.
Yeah.
There's the buyback, though. Gunner's not ready to give up. I mean, you saw how long he stayed alive last time. The jump forward again. If they can get some of these kills, this opens up so much for them. These rocks just being thrown at Ferev's face. They get right into that pit. They're like, all right, we better move on this because all of their big ultimates right now are down. There is no Dream Coil up just yet. They don't have that egg at all. And Puck has an Infest Bomb, but...
Egg is up now. It just came up.
Okay, egg just came up. They have that option, but there it is. It's down. And it's going to be Gunner who grabs the Aegis. Yeah, BKB is going to get popped by Ferev. He doesn't want to have to fight under that Ignis. There's so much damage that's coming out from Envy right now. They're just going to chase him right down. They don't actually find the fins, but they should be able to take down this egg. Jumping into the back line, though, they're going to be able to use that Infest Bomb. Again, Ignis coming off again. They finally be able to take down Lelis. And now, oh, Moo is all alone with Gunner and Envy. They are coming after you, my friend. They'll be able to go, maybe pop that to jump back again. There's going to be the refresher coming through, and they're going to try to just chop down Moo trying to run himself back. He jumps into this big old tanky Ogre, says, please, Ogre, take me away. Try with the Uber, my friend, please. But they're still just not giving up the force step, though. Gonna be able to bring him up over onto the high ground. Somehow he's still alive. They're looking. Gonna be able to just go run himself out. Gunner trying to chase. Just not gonna be able to do it.
Saving Private Moo right there.
Right. Oh, baby.
Yeah, that was
what a fight.
Great teamwork. We have definitely got some fantastic games. We knew we were going to have some great games coming in, but both series now.
Fear the armored car just waiting to take them away.
Seeing some impressive play coming out on either side.
God.
But yeah, Ember Spirit, after all of that chaos, it was almost, I mean, especially if Lifestealer dies right there, that could have been a disaster for J.Strom. Their choice to try to fight that instead of cut their losses, it would almost cost them in the end. But they do get away, and they can kind of reset things. But again, it goes back to, you still have the Aegis. I think at least the Refresher Shard was taken, or eaten.
I think I also heard the cheese.
And the cheese was eaten as well? Okay, so it's just the Aegis.
The win in the end, I think, is still for the side of Flying Penguins, just because you have the Aegis over on Gunnar now, who bought back for this. He needed that Aegis, and I think that's also why they still contested.
Oh my god.
What,
Kano has an Ethereal Blade.
Okay.
I mean, casual snaking Ethereal Blade.
I saw him, you know, ghost sceptering himself a couple of times. Really good way to not get focused down by that Lifestealer, but I kind of didn't expect him to
go all the way.
Yeah.
We've got a Nullifier too, picked up on the side of Lifestealer, which is going to be pretty scary for.
And what talent did the Coddle take? Just curious.
Will-O-Wisp Flicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense when you've got a Refresher.
Remnant cooldown on Ember Spirit. I saw there's a 420 GPM. That's important. As much of a meme as it is with the number, that's actually a
yeah. He's working on a Dagon. He's going into a Hex next as well.
He needs so much CC.
It's just crazy how fast that gold goes up. Yeah, just keep it on Puck. We'll just launch the gold there. Feels good, man.
All right, so what's the play here?
It is very hard for Flying Penguins to siege because their tower damage, if you can, well, call it that, it's going to be Eternal Envy, right? Mm-hmm. But he is still pretty fragile, and I haven't seen them actually build any Lotus Orbs. There's just a Lincoln Sphere on Envy himself. He's pretty easy to squash, so they'd most likely want to get a pick off first.
Or isn't this sort of the case, right? Because Gunnar has the Aegis, that you just let him create all the chaos and hope that they forget that they have buildings and just let Envy hit stuff?
He's not really good at hitting buildings,
kind of plan.
Not Gunner. I'm talking about Eternal Envy.
Oh, Eternal Envy, okay.
Hitting the buildings. But BKB is going to pop over here. They'll turn their attention. Look how fast they're just clicking away over at this egg. Need a little bit more damage. There's no more Phoenix anymore. And Big Ignis over here. And again, the BKBs are popped. There could be illusory or being thrown back in. Gunner running around in circles here. Has his eyes over here onto Forev. Forev has the BKB up and running, so he's not going to be able to get rooted just yet. Flight's coming through. They've got their eyes over here onto Bryle. Bryle going to be able to go and dodge. They've got their eyes on Fear now. The rest of the team, they're just going to go right back into that building. They do not have their Phoenix.
Yeah, good call. They got the double Will-O-Wisp used as well, so it's a very good time to retreat for J.Strom. And only losing the Phoenix, I think, is...
I think that's a pretty good price to pay for that.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, I think, aside from maybe, you know, taking down Fear, but egg was used during all that as well.
Yep.
So he died in the egg.
So that Aegis, though, about a minute or so remaining on it. 30 seconds, actually, a little off there.
How do you feel about this Lifestealer Bomb right now? Because I'm thinking it's risky plays.
Find a kill.
Well, that's a Van Flee. That's a little bit different here. Will just force step himself forward. Yeah, gotta get nullified though. And there's the E-Blade coming out, buys him a little bit more time, but Bryle, of course, with the illusory orb, cleans up.
Yeah, the Force Staff wasn't his either. It wasn't really his decision to break the coil. That was
Well, I'm thinking, I think he was hoping that maybe he could like push him a little bit further away, just to buy him some more time. Yeah. No, I am fully aware that you do not want to snap that coil.
Mm-hmm. More like it wasn't him himself.
Right.
Team decision. And now with the axe, it does even more damage too. So, yeah, there's the Scythe. 3,000 gold already saved up.
Look at everyone hitting 25.
And Puck's going to start buying people moon shards at this rate with the amount of gold that he
That's
accumulates.
possible, at least for Lifestealer. I'm sure a refresher is going to be a thought as well for Puck.
Boots of travel now for the Necrolite.
He's a hard on Envy.
Yeah, there's the not being as fragile anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the potential siege item. Like, he's gonna cop a lot of damage, but he's also gonna regen it back fast, and this is gonna hopefully force J.Strom to actually properly engage into him instead of keeping the creep waves out and, you know, trying to spam him away from the base.
There's a BKB completed now for this Earth Spirit, so I don't think it's going to be quite as easy to take him down. Of course, though, Puck having the Ags will obviously affect this. 150 gold per minute, too.
Yeah. Very nice.
The rich boy. I want to know who drew the Flying Penguins banners. Oh, not the, I'm sorry, the base image, Sorry, Screw.
The one at the
Look at that little guy. Look at that. That is a quality banner right there. I want to know who did that.
Some MS Paint mastery there.
Well, J.Strom doesn't even have one.
Yeah, J.Strom's not even
Clearly, the more
tagged up, but
professional team is Penguins, right?
Confirmed.
All right, we still have that that bomb. Hoping maybe that they're going to try to jump on Forev here. Moon's spending a lot of time, though, in this little car. Just
Roshan
flee.
is a little bit of time.
Gunner needs to be careful here. They know he's there. They're jumping forward. It looks like Flea's going to be the one, though, that gets the surprise. We'll try to roll on back, but the bash comes through. Again, Lilith's just kind of hanging out on the back end, trying to find this opening. They're going to go for this egg. Ignis is going to get dropped as well, and they've got the BKB. Should be able to chip it down. March is just dead again immediately here. And now it looks like the, Lilith is in for so much trouble. Scythe actually not going to get the final hit, but they do manage to take him down. They're just going to hang out on top of these Ignis over. And they've got their eyes on Puck. Bryle in so much trouble. We'll use the Waning Rift, though. Gunner wanting to be a little bit careful here. He does have that double damage rune, but won't go hard over there onto getting Bryle.
March's egg choices are a little odd to me in that I think I understand what he's going for. He's basically saying, I know I'm going to die, but I want everyone to focus me so my cores can, you know, deal damage and not have the focus on them. But it seems like that's like 2 or 3 fights now where he literally just goes in and uses it right on top of the Weaver and the Ember and everyone, and he dies in 3 seconds. So I guess it's hard to gauge if that actually is the best value.
They have such a good plan, though, for it, right? Because the second that the egg comes out, they drop the Ignis, so anyone that's trying to defend the egg immediately gets pulled into it, and then you pop the BKBs over on your cores, so that way they're not affected by anything. They can just focus on the egg, chop it down, because after that's done, that's, again, a lot of their team fight. They can just kind of slide around or do whatever they need, because they've got a very mobile.
It gets their BKBs used early on as well, because they're always going to react with BKBs when the Supernova's on top of them. So again, maybe that's what he's ultimately thinking too.
So there's going to have the Earth Spirit up in about 7 seconds. Lilith will be up in 17. Does have the buyback too. I think they're fine here, though. They can just constantly spam out. Although Envy running out like that makes me a little nervous, not gonna lie. Fear's just gonna hang out here. Yeah, big tanky boy. Both the Lincoln's gonna get popped.
His team's backing him up.
And again, they have the Lifestealer Bomb in the puck.
At this point,
like
I'm
they
thinking
have.
that you might actually want to put the Lifestealer in someone else for a change, just to, for variety's sake. I'm kidding, but if he is actually not in the puck at some crucial moment, because the Flying Penguins are going to be expecting that right now. What if you put him in the Phoenix? No, Phoenix goes in and think, oh, it's another one of the suicides.
Oh, there's a jump forward, and again, the Infest Bomb's gonna pop. All the BKB is coming out. We do get the egg in the back line, though. They don't have the Ignis right yet, but they should be able to take down March. March is gonna get taken down, and they've got the Envy over here trying to stay alive. They got the Ethereal Blade, though. We'll be able to keep him alive just a little bit longer. Ignis gonna get dropped. There's a Slight coming out from Gunner here. Doesn't have the BKB anymore. Rage is gonna come out from Moo, and he's still trying to just Envy chop away at him. Puck, meanwhile, is just running around. Brile sitting so very low. Gunner looking for this opening. He doesn't actually notice him. He's actually going to be able to get himself out. No, there's going to be the Yules coming through. And he chases after the orb just in case he tries to get a little cheeky. But Moo actually finds himself a kill over onto Lelis here. And I think they also took down Snay. Snay having to buy back during that.
Puck just bought bots level 2. I wonder if he's thinking about a buyback here and kind of going all in. No, they are going to start TPing back, so never mind.
Just using his gold, I guess.
Yeah. Again, there's no buyback on Slaughter, and they know that, but not worth it. Yeah, the Nullifier definitely came into play several times from the Lifestealer. I thought that fight, but
oh boy,
it's going to be a Roshan, and yeah, I don't think J.Strom's actually going to know/be able to stop this.
I don't think they can stop it.
Again, that previous fight, the Supernova, March just continues to go in and see it. This must be a pretty boring game for him, I gotta say, because he's literally doing the same thing every fight.
This is big, though.
Scythe? Yeah.
No, both of them, the Abyssal Blade and the Scythe, right? So if we get a good multicast coming out from Fear after those BKBs are down.
Casual keeping Frev out of the pit.
There's the big Chris trying to go in for the save. The match! They actually pick it up. Gunner now in for a lot of trouble. Popping that Lincoln is going to have to run himself over onto the high ground. Eternal Envy now going to have to go eat the cheese, trying to run himself out here.
What?
Did they not have the slot open?
That must have been that. They weren't communicating before. I don't know.
They didn't have the slot open.
I mean, he might have swapped around to be fair. But yeah, I mean, nobody, whether they're still talking, who knows? The point is, Frev had like 2 or 3 seconds to walk in there and snatch it up for himself.
Yeah, I thought that March was going to try to go and grab the snatch, but
they might have grabbed something else accidentally, because obviously when you're in the moment like that. But I mean, and Frev's a decent target to have that too.
For sure.
It is so hard to bring him down once. How are they going to do it twice?
I don't know. The BKBs are up and running, though, right now.
Do they just go tier 4?
I don't think...
Take full advantage of this? No.
I don't think so. I think that's too risky, because Lelis is up in 8 seconds.
And when he is back, the damage amp is back. And then Eternal Envy can really get to work.
All right, he's back up and running. Couple of chains that gets the sheep stick out. And again, Fear has a sheep stick, and I'm not sure if they know that. Flea jumping right in. Ignis coming through, going to be able to hold him in place for a little bit longer. Gunner trying to just stay back a little bit, and they do land the other Ignis here, and they've got their eyes over here onto Frev. He's going to have to go ahead, pop his BKB, Illusory Orb going forward. Look how fast Eternal Envy is. He's got his eyes over on the Phoenix. Will be able to take down the bird. Can they find themselves a little bit more? Yep, they'll be able to go and find Moo. He's down now. Does have the buyback. Brile trying to run himself back, and they've got the roll forward. They'll turn their attention now over here onto the Ogre. Fear trying to just... He's so tanky, but it's not in there. They take him down. Frev just running around in circles now. He's got the Aegis. They'll be able to pop that on him, and I'm sure he's not long for this world either, but...
They saved him for last.
We've hit that point of the game where this game just got wacky.
Scythe comes out, though. He played that very, very well.
Like, I mean, did he play that well, or did Lelis just really not have to go in there at all?
Yeah,
a little column A, column B, I suppose.
That's 135 seconds that he's going to have to wait now and think about what he just did. So
That was 3 times Ignis, though. Did you notice that?
Was it?
Yes, the call dropped 2 of them onto the Lifestealer, so he was busy just hitting Ignises, because that's what you do when you're raged up, right?
Yeah.
He's hitting those Ignises, and then they used the 3rd on the side.
We were so fast that he doesn't even move anymore. Like, I need you to watch him when he's, like, look at him.
His legs are just static, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that 3 Will-O-Wisp sounds pretty strong. That's... Yeah, that's funny.
All right, there's going to be the buybacks, though, for buying back. But double damage Weaver right now is absolutely disgusting. They're going to try to jump him here. There you go. They'll pop the Lincolns, but they're going to lose this tower. They've got the other
Lincoln's applied again.
Right there.
And they would
Right
really
through.
rather not buy back.
No, I don't think they want to, but they might not have a choice because look how fast these racks are just falling. And at that, they're going to make their rotation over to the mid lane. March just trying to throw out some of these spirits, trying to slow them down just a little bit. There's going to be the Dream Coil coming out with the silence. They've got the Lincoln's back on this Weaver. He's slowing down just a little bit, but he actually has his own BKB. Will be able to finish it up. Snaps that tether, though. Again, they do have the Ags over on the puck, and they still got a lot of backup. Another Lincoln's coming through.
And that's enough sieging
So
for
decent
Penguins for
amount.
now. They could finally take down some shrines if they felt like it.
And they've got the gem now that was on the puck over on Flea. So he's going to be able to rip down a lot of their vision. And there's an Octarine core finally finished up here for our gunner god over here, G-God.
Yeah, this is a late game item that we definitely see on Embers. Cooldown reduction, and it affects the recharge as well. So he's going to have a lot of fire remnants to use quite frequently.
Just like to remind you guys, this is game number 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
game number one,
I'm
it's
just
best of 3.
looking at this and thinking, how are these players going to, like, whoever loses this is going to really have to
Reset.
spend a lot of time recovering.
Yeah, yeah,
and they
sure.
most likely won't have that time.
I'm at the point where I'm ready to get off this couch and just go like stand in front of the monitors over here because I'm just
So into it.
edge
is
of my seat
happening?
the whole
It is a
time.
great game,
I
man.
love it though. Like this is the best kind of Dota.
This is, I'm telling you, NA Dota. That's what I was saying. We're hyped for it all this week. There's the gem picked up.
Production is shit talking NA Dota. I can hear them.
I'm just ignoring them.
Dire's top shrine is under
I don't
attack.
hear NA.
It's fine. We'll put
talk.
snakes in their bed later.
Where are you gonna find snakes? In
We got
winter?
pigs.
in Sweden. Yeah, pigs. Pigs in their beds.
They'd like that.
True.
Uh-oh, snaking. Yeah, snaking immediately.
target,
yeah,
Ambis,
they're going
doesn't
to
matter.
take him down.
Nullifier, good for that.
No buyback, actually.
Yeah,
either,
that's a
so.
huge kill.
But they do have a lot of creeps going into the base, so someone's got to go home and deal with that.
There are several boosted travels over on their
Sure.
side, though. So it's all about who gets to. Let's see. Does Flying Penguins get to cut that creep wave on? Yeah, they're pushing out on bottom as well. It's about far enough out now that it's going to take a minute to go up to the Radiant base at least. That's not enough, though, if they storm forward.
I get it. If they storm forward, Kips.
Clever with those words.
Forward is not even in this game. It could have been better.
Dire's bottom
But
tower
storm.
is under attack.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I
but
am
then that
aware.
just doesn't.
But they could
That's
storm
too much.
Jay.
Everybody, you're all fired. I've had enough of this. I'm going home. Yeah,
Tier 4?
yeah, they're
for
going
it.
tier 4. Coddle's not going to be up for another 70-something seconds. They do have some hitting over onto that rack.
Look at their base.
Look at, yeah, Weaver. Envy sitting over there, trying to do a little bit of damage. They'll go, oh, the Hex coming out, though. This Ember's in for trouble. The Nullifier coming out as well. They finally get that egg off. They will lose the Ember Spirit. He does have buyback, though. Envy trying his best to fight through this. We'll have to go use the time lapse. And now Lela's going to get held up over onto the side. There's going to be the buyback coming out from the Ember Spirit. He just wants to defend the space. He's just trying to slide as much as he can. Lela's sitting, sorry, Flea's sitting very, very low, but looks like they might be able to know they're going to lose. Weaver immediately buying back. They'll find a kill over onto Flea, and it's all about just the defense. The Ancients right now, guys, but they're just focused on these buildings. They're not even paying any attention to these other heroes. Again, another slide coming through. Ryle sitting a little bit low, but not quite down yet. Just throwing out that Shiva's guard, and you know, you just keep fighting against this. Oh my gosh, the steep sip coming back onto the back end here. It's going to be the multicast again. Oh no, that's going to be that Flea. Ryle still sitting very low. Envy trying to find an opening, trying to draw them back just a little bit here. And there's going to be the Life Stealer bomb, and that's a dieback. And Coddle's going to be up in a second, but
He does have double Will-O-Wisp and an Ember Spirit, so
Think
it's
they
still
can do it?
possible. It's still possible to hold.
all right, Illuminate coming out. There's the Will-O-Wisp being thrown through, but again, Moo is going to be able to go. They pay attention. The bash is coming out here from Lelis. Another Ignis is going to get dropped on top of it. Got the BKBs up and running, and they're just still trying to just chase after snaking here. They actually get the Nullifier out, but this is not looking pretty good. Gunner trying. He gets bashed up, though, by the Life Stealer. He's trying to slide through. Can he find anything else? No. This is this is it. That's going to be it. The GG call comes out. J.Strom, after one heck of a slugfest, is going to be able to take game number 1.
As I said, Weaver's bad. No, I'm just kidding. It honestly, I know. It wasn't that at all. That was just an absolute slugfest between those two teams. They both played very well for most of that game, and ultimately only one team could win it in the end. And it comes down to, as games like that do when you're playing an hour long, one pickoff, and it was the Cottle. Cottle, that kind of shows you too how impactful that Will-O-Wisp actually was, the refresher Will-O-Wisp especially, and how annoyed by it. The fact that they were confident enough to be like, he doesn't have a buyback, we push down mid and win this game, and that they exactly did.
Yeah, I think, again, it comes down to that one pickoff in the woods. If Cottle wasn't taken down during that, I think the game, A, would have gone on a lot longer, but B, they wouldn't have had the confidence to just go for that final finish. And not having the buyback on the Cottle was huge, too. I think he just needed more gold, right? I think it wasn't the case of that he was already bought back.
I'm not sure, actually. I don't know if he bought back in that previous fight.
I don't know. There were a lot of...
I think it was a lack of gold.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like that would have made such a difference if he had been able to. Also, the snatch, right? Going out into the roach pit. There was just like all these little pieces that just eventually, Flying Penguins just unraveled.
A little bit, yeah. I think they also had the harder game in general because they were the ones that were always on the back foot, waiting to see, is this puck gonna jump us and how do we react? And that wears on you after a while. If you're always sitting there waiting for, are they gonna jump me? Am I dead right now? Are my teammates sitting behind me correctly? That is going to, the stress will wear you out. This kind of things will happen eventually. And I think in general that all comes back to ease of execution. I said that all the way at the start, and the more I looked at this game, the more I thought, like, yeah, it is just easier to do this if you have the off-map presence, if you can burst down the creep waves easier, and of course, if you don't have to first use someone else's ability on someone to amp the damage before you can hit them. Because let's face it, the fact that Lelis needed to amplify the damage before Eternal Envy could actually properly chew through these heroes really complicated the team fights for them.
Yeah.
So...
All right.
I guess I am not surprised with the final outcome, but then again, I am surprised with how we arrived at it because that was some dotes.
That was some really good dote. I think we all need a break. I think the teams definitely need a break and maybe several cigarettes after that. But we are definitely going to take a short break, come back. And again, that was only game number 1. Don't smoke, guys. It's not good for you. Yeah. But we will be taking that break and come back with game number 2.